Hey, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Hey. Hold on, y'all. Give me like a minute. Okay, sorry, y'all. I am in the process of cooking, not cooking, but hey, y'all. Hey, we home. No, for how long, but hey, it's cold in here. But I was in the kitchen and I didn't want to get nothing on my hoodie. You heard me? Didn't I? Hey, y'all. I know this loud too because I was just watching it in the kitchen. So let me turn this down because I be hollering and stuff. Hey, everybody. Hey. Some of y'all might have already seen this, but baby, I need y'all to listen to something. Y'all ready? I shared it with some of y'all. Y'all might have already watched it, but we need to listen to this as a group. Are y'all ready? Hey, y'all. I ain't even about to wait for this. Oh, hey, Google. Set an alarm for 10 minutes. There. Your alarm's set for 8:58 p.m. Thank you. Okay, because I got to check on my cauliflower. Listen. Listen here. This right here, crazy. The people that were getting judged, you could hear when God was talking to them. And you can hear everything they got judged from. So if somebody went to hell for something that you know you struggled with in your life, you know where you were going. And so I'm just saying people go, sit there, boom, boom. But I'm seeing the flame and it's constantly burning everybody outside that haven't been judged yet. And I could hear some of the people talking to God. And I remember there was a woman, blonde hair. And God was talking to her. He said, I'm not judging you for what you put on Facebook, but I'm judging you on how everybody else received it. 300,000 people were led astray by one of her Facebook posts. And he said their blood was on her hands. And out of nowhere, he said, depart from me. And I'm talking about, I couldn't express how powerful his words were. It's as if he said, depart from me, and everything shook. And she was sitting with great force. And the portal opened up. She was going to fly. And it would close. And the scream was so late, it terrified me. People, adultery, fornication, so many different things that I could actually hear. And people in front of me were terrified because a lot of those people were struggling or went through the same situation and they never repented. So thousand, 1,000, sit here. They would go, they would fly. door was flying so fast. I've never seen something so fast. And it got to the point where I was next in line. And he called me up. And he started talking to me. And keep in mind that our life held us hand in hand. So anything we did in our life, our life testified against us. So you couldn't lie because your life testified. Say, yes, you did this at this time, yes, you did. And whenever God would speak to me, you would see a big screen. Like you would see as if whatever God says, it comes to life. And so he started talking to me and he started telling me everything that I could have did better. And at this point, I'm like, okay, God, I could have did this better. I did it. I did okay with it, but I could have did better. So he began to say other things, and he brought up this specific woman. And he asked me, why didn't I forgive her? And he gave her a specific name. I'm not going to say it. He gave her a specific name. And I knew exactly what he was talking about. He asked me, why didn't I forgive her? I said, I did, God. I did forgive her. He said, well, if you forgave her, when you get on the phone and talk to her, why is it that you treat her like the situation happened all over again? And I'm like, God, but I did forgive her. He said, well, if you forgave her, why are those seeds still in your chest? And I looked down. I was like, oh my God. That's what those are for. Those are seeds of what I did in my life. The things I didn't forgive. So he was talking to me and I was like, oh my God. And he told me, he looked at me and said, because you didn't forgive her, I didn't forgive you some of your sins. And I was like, oh my God. And he started telling me so many other things, and he ain't told me not one good thing yet. And at this point, I'm getting terrified because my mind is starting now going to a place where I'm imagining how hot this fire is going to be when this portal open.
Y'all, did that man not just describe everything from our class of Second Baruch? I said, wait, a screen? Oh, wait a minute, I told on this. He said, and your life is going to be sitting right there. So when he asked you about it, which is exactly what we said, and now I understand where the terror is coming from. Because if you know that you're guilty of that sin, hold on. I reposted it. The person's name is Elijah. The account is Elijah. Listen. The way he said, once he said, depart from me, and they were snatched through a portal. I know this. I told y'all my dream. This is why it's spooking me. I literally told y'all the first dream when I was like 8 or 9 years old that I had about heaven and hell. And remember, I told y'all it was a dark hole, and everybody that he said, depart from me, you work of iniquity, they dropped down in that hole in the clouds, and instantly I was in hell. Remember I told y'all? And it was black, and people were screaming, and I explained it to y'all. So I know this boy ain't lying because I had a dream similar, okay? And I knew everybody that was on the cloud. It was all of these people. And I went to get on the escalator to go up, and he said, no, not you. And his hand pointed that way. Baby, when I tell you I was messed up, so I know this boy ain't lying. And then for him to have that second Baruch in there, baby, I said, oh my God, help me, Lord. Jesus, whoever I have not forgot. I said, I got to go live real quick because, honey, we got to talk about this. This is what we read. He ain't even done. Listen.
So, I'm scared. I didn't know how to explain how terrified I was. Words can't describe. When you meet God, words can't describe how terrifying it is to look your Creator face to face. And where there's nothing hid from Him. There's nothing. Your inner thoughts are revealed before Him. Your perception, how you feel, everything that you hosted in this body is presented before Him. And so, I got to a point where I didn't want to hear God no more. I was really turning my head because I was afraid that, it's already made his mind up. I was so afraid. And so I turned my head, and he would just come to tell me everything that I didn't do right, or I should have did better. And at this point, I going to hell.
Y'all know how I know he ain't lying? Think about this. When we read it, right? He said, he didn't say nothing about, when we read Second Baruch, it didn't say nothing about the good deeds. He said he's going to go into your muscles, your sinews, and the innermost parts of your body and pull out the sin. Come on, Mari. Every single thing that boy said is Second Baruch. The big screen, how what you did, everybody is going to see it. They are going to hear God talking to you. And remember, I said everybody thinking they're going to get judged one by one. We getting judged all at the same time. That's why he said it's going to come to the light. God is the light. You can't lie. So when you in front of him, nothing is hidden. And like you said, he can see straight through you. Baby, listen. And he said the fear is going to come because you know you guilty of that sin too. So then you know you going to be sucked away. That baby, listen, I don't want no parts of nothing. Do you hear me? And the stuff I ain't conquered, God help me with it, please and thank you. Please. Because I had that dream. I didn't have his exact dream, but I had my own version, baby, when I was 9 or 10 years old, and it has not ever left me. This is not a game, and this is why God said it ain't gonna be a lot of people in heaven. So when people be like, "Oh, CERCA, you hard," do you hear that? You want me to give you a fluffy Jesus, and that's what judgment, and we know we're not lying because we read it in Second Baruch. God showed the same dream vision that this young man saw, Second Baruch saw. 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago. Oh yeah, it's real. Not Second Baruch again. I had trouble sleeping after that class, and here we go again. That must mean this is reinforcement. Keish, did you hear this boy dream, girl? It's Second Baruch. I don't know if you was in here, baby. And this is only part 2. I guess it's 3 parts. This little boy, baby, described everything that's in Second Baruch, baby, when he had this dream that he went to hell, honey. Or he had a life or death experience. I didn't watch part 2, baby. Part 1, because part 2 just hit me. I got to go back. I didn't even go look at what happened, because everything in part 2 is Second Baruch. Literally. The big screen, everything. I don't know whose account. The guy's name is Elijah. Listen. I'm going to play. Here, let me show you, because they be tripping, you know. This is the account. Seriously? It's just Elijah, and then put in Judgment Day Part 2. Hold on, let me go check on my cauliflower real quick, y'all. Listen here, honey. I said, oh, wow. Okay. So if you ever wonder where my passion for teaching comes from, it's because I've had that experience. And nothing about it was pretty. And I had it at a very young age. So when I tell you I've been telling people about hell for a long time, since the late 80s, early 90s. Earlier than that, because I went to apostolic church, but in my own experience. And they was like, baby, it was just a dream. No, that was real, honey, because I'm sure I peed on myself. And honey, people were screaming exactly like he said. They were screaming, I told y'all the dream. Y'all don't think that's crazy? People be like, she aggressive. That's because they done sold you this fluffy God and fluffy Jesus, baby. Ain't nothing fluffy about him. And he mean what he say. So yeah, I be hard on y'all. You said not piddled a little bit, girl. Nah, that dream, I'm sure I peed on myself. I was like 9, 8 or 9. Maybe I'm sure I did. I'm sure I probably did. Mm-hmm. Sure, I used to have night terrors every night, baby. And it's crazy how you found the quiche. Oh yes, honey. It's a different game. That is Second Baruch, literally word for word. Every single thing that we read in Second Baruch. So the same thing that God showed Second Baruch however long ago he showed a young man in our last 5 years or 2 years, the exact same thing he showed him. Baby, they don't never gotta read these lost books. He said it's only lost to those that are lost. I don't plan on being lost. You hear me? Because most people that read Second Baruch, oh, God wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. He is. And it's about to be a lot harder to get into the pearly gates than these pastors than sold people. Not told them, sold them. Because for $599 to $2,500, I can get you a good seat in heaven, is what they've been on. And baby, you said the American people don't take people around the world. It ain't just Americans. That's he, or else he would only be destroying America. It ain't just America. It's the world. He about to destroy the world because the world don't take him serious. And after that, hearing that, I don't know how you could listen. You watching part 1 right now? Are we going to read it again? We must have a new people. Sis. We ain't about to read it again. I wanted y'all to hear that because it confirms everything we read. That would not hit the way that it is hitting y'all if we had not read Second Baruch. It would of course scare you because it's like, ooh. We didn't see a million interviews about people. But the reason that hit different because you read it with your own eyes, baby. You read that and then it popped up off the page. I told y'all, everything I read pop up off the page, babe, in real life. You want to know what's crazy too? I didn't realize that Tehran is where they just overthrew that man until I got offline with y'all. How about that? I didn't even realize it until I got off and went to go do. I said, wait a minute. This just happened the other day. We was talking about it. I didn't realize it was in Tehran until today. Listen, I said, Dad, listen, whatever you want to do is okay with me. It ain't nothing in this world worth. And y'all wonder why I be like, yeah, nah, I'll stay in my house. I don't want nothing the world got to offer me. Because that, baby, no. No, and y'all be like, oh, no, I could. I very well damn could. That made me want to have a sip. You hear me? I said I might need me a little something, cause what? But I already know because I had more than one dream. 3 that I can remember. If surrender isn't established after hearing that, I don't know what would listen here. The fact that we read it, can anybody just put a hand up? The fact that we read that 2-3 years ago for the first time, we've read it a couple, right, classy lady. We done read it, whatever, and then to see this young boy, he can't be no more than 22. maybe 25, because black, be looking a little bit younger sometimes. That boy ain't that. I give him 27 at the most. I had that dream almost 40 years ago. He telling us what second Baruch saw. Okay, hands. Well, I don't think that. There are people that think that. I don't think that. As soon as I heard second Baruch, I instantly wish I had a bottle of... Listen. Can I ask y'all a question? And I'm not being funny when I say this. Who thought that I was a little overbearing? Be honest. And it's okay. Or aggressive, or maybe I should calm down a little bit on the things that I talk about. Be honest. Maybe for the first 6 months you was here or whatever, even later, like, goodness gracious, CERCA, we know. And we don't preach a lot of hellfire here as far as, blah, blah, condemning people. Right? But we do talk about, if the Bible say it, it say it. We ain't shying away from nothing. Because I love y'all. We talk about it all. Do you hear me? You hear what I'm saying? But now do you understand? Well, I was like, when y'all first came here, I said I did. I was struggling, but not anymore. I love it here. You come on, Keish. I thought you were necessary. When I first heard your voice, in the beginning, yes, but the more you spoke, the deeper my trust in you developed. Okay. But do you understand why I went so hard now? I love you. Not a pushover attitude. It never bothered me a bit. Good. Well, thank you, Tam. It did. Not gonna lie. I know y'all did. Y'all, I'm not new to this. I know what goes on. I know how I ain't new to this. I'm true to it. Yeah, Steph. At first I did. Listen, okay, thank you for being honest. Okay. But now do you see why I was like, if you don't want to hear it, leave. I'm only talking to the people that's listening. And people's like, you shouldn't be like that. The hell with you? You know why I didn't listen to them? Because if God tell me to do something as a watchman, glad I've been around from the beginning. Come on now. Come on. If God tell me to do something as a watchman and I don't do it, y'all blood is on my hands. Nigga, I'm barely making it in for me. I gotta worry. I don't got time to play with y'all. If you don't want to hear it, baby, you want to live in your fluffy, Jesus is everybody gonna get in, go right ahead. To those of you that want to hear the truth, I'm gonna need you to come have a seat. You hear me? I don't got time for no games. I don't got time for playing, because guess what? After hearing that, you should see that God don't either. There will be no excuses. There is no way that what we read that was written over 4,000 years ago, this little boy who probably haven't even read it had the exact same dream, vision, experience, word for word, what we read that was read through, and y'all think God is playing? No, he's not. I feel sick. I feel like is there anything I can do at this point? I wish I would have knew this from the day. Don't. You just keep confessing right now. Confession, I enjoy hearing you tell someone you like throw up, don't. You know what, Leisha? She said, I got a confession. I like when you ask people, you like throw up, don't you? Because that's what they be doing. Get away from here. I have made it so clear. Don't ask me. Uh-oh. I've made it so clear. Don't ask me if you need help with a lie, and don't. Something pulled me to you from day one. Listen, the regular Bible says it's hard to get in. The other book shows you how hard it is. Never stop preparing. Is it prepping? Preparing. Did you hear what they said? They said the regular Bible says it's hard to get in. The other book shows you how hard it is. That's good. I have been having a seat here. I love how you straight. Thank you. Do y'all see God ain't playing though? Listen. I read what happened to the prophets and the seers and the people that God go tell my people what I said. I saw what happened. I also saw what happened to the prophets and stuff that went against God and followed man and did it because they didn't want to offend man. They got ate up by lions and stuff. And then that person went on and was teaching, you got me messed up. I don't care if you like it or not. Because I don't have to answer to you in Judgment Day. So if God told me to get up here and say something, or he told me to be aggressive or assertive in a situation so that y'all know I'm serious, and I'm like, well, they're going to be upset, or they're going to, he like, okay. And when you heard what he said, that boy, he said that woman didn't get into heaven because she made one Facebook post that led 300,000 people astray. And you think that I'm about, that's why when I went viral, I was like, I do not care. Look, I'm responsible for these words I say. And if y'all go a different way, guess who's now? Not because you don't want to hear what I got to say. You hear me? And what I tell you about that blonde hair. What I tell y'all. What I tell y'all about that blonde hair when God said, you ready? Okay, take that off. I always had blonde hair. Blonde or every picture pretty much for me from about 19. I get a black hair once in a while, but baby, I was gonna have that Beyonce color. But I wore it even before she was busting it. You hear me? Before whatever. I've been on that. Honey, that number 4 and 27, kept it. Whether it was the chocolate on the top and the blonde on the bottom, or the blonde on the top and the chocolate on the bottom, baby, I was gonna kill it. Curls, bust, middle part bust down, wet and wavy. It didn't matter. However I could get it, I was gonna take it. And he said, all right, if you want me, you gotta take that out. And 613 did. I would put that in every once in a while when I was gonna do my strips in the front. He said, if you want me, take that off. I said, come again? Say what? Honey, he said, yeah, take it off. Take them nails off too. I don't wear nothing but eyebrows and lip gloss. I might put a little shadow on my hair, my eye every once in a while. He said, yep, none of that either. Well, how they gonna see me? He said, I don't want them to. That's the problem. You worried about them seeing you, and you need to be worried about seeing me. And if I see you, he's worried about the wrong things. They don't need to see you. They need to see me in you. I don't know if I like that. I'll think about it. He said, don't worry about it. I'm going to cut your hair money off. You'll be wearing braids from now on. No tracks for you. I'm going to make that pocket real. Oh, there'll be no $450 sew-ins no. And this was 2000, honey. Was banging it down. You hear me? $300 in hair and $150 on this sew-in, baby. I'm in there. Come on with it. And that was every month. I'm about to go get this bust down. You hear me? He said, I bet you don't. You said upside my head. Listen. Not me chewing and spitting out my fake nails right now. Girl, listen. And I'm so grateful he let y'all see him and not me. I'm grateful for it. Grateful for it. Because if I was still worried about y'all seeing me, I don't know where I'd be. It wouldn't be here. When I was still worried about looking saved, because that's what I was taught in church. We don't dress like that. We wear skirts, even though they was getting hyped up. Definitely got pregnant with my last daughter wearing a skirt. For sure. Might have got pregnant with the other one too. What that mean? Now it don't matter if I got jeans, shorts, sweats, a skirt, a dress. I said no. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna put myself in a situation to have to say no. Because well, I can't speak for y'all. I'm gonna speak for CERCA. There was times when I put myself in a situation and I would lie to God and myself and say, well, I'm not gonna do it. You said, well, girl, I said I'm not gonna do it. Wake up in the morning, I did it, girl. I did it. Growth is, I'm not even gonna put myself in that situation. And it ain't that I can't say no now, because of course I got a lot of move around. God been too good to me. It ain't even about no trying to sneak and get away with it. I don't want to go away. You trying to stop my blessings? Because when my blessings stop, you not picking up that slack. No, go away. It's not impossible to lie to God. People lie to God all the time. They lied to the Holy Spirit as well. That's why old boy and his wife was 6 feet under, because they fixed their mouth to lie to the Holy Spirit. That don't mean he don't know it's a lie. People lie to God all the time. God, I'm not going to do that again. I won't go over and visit that lady. I won't look at corn anymore. And they do it. It doesn't matter. You can still lie. Just because you know a person is lying. Okay, listen, whatever. Moving on. I would lie to God and lie to myself. Exactly what I said. God literally said, right, people's mouths lie. And Sapphira and Ananias, what did Paul say? He said you lied to the Holy Spirit. He didn't say you lied to me. You lied to the Spirit about the cost of the land, not me. The Spirit of God. Thanks for growth. That part, Miss Buckins. Anyway, like I said, lied to God and myself. And now I could be put in a situation. I ain't going to tempt myself, though. But God has been too good. Even before this, when I did, I felt so guilty because I knew, even if this was a person I felt like would have my back, you can't have my back like God do. Because you won't know until it happens either. God knows before. He knows before. And that's why you said, let me eat these nails off and continue being natural. I picked. Uh-oh. I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to me. I be talking as I minister you, I minister to myself. Okay? That's where we're going right now. Listen. Once you see what is really valuable, this is what it means to not cast your pearls before the swine. It's not once you realize how much valuable things you got. It's once you realize how valuable you are to God. You will not keep playing on the devil's territory. It's only when you don't understand your value to God. Because once you find your value and understand how valuable you are to God, you don't care if people think you're valuable. You don't care if people think you're useful. You don't care. Because when God is using you, you feel fulfilled. When God is using you, things are just working out. It's less stressful. You hear me? It might not make sense. It might not feel good. But it's less stressful. How many of you, when you came here, your value changed, or things that you thought were valuable prior to now, since you've been at WOIU during however long you've been here, do you still value the same things? Your value changed? You? Once you've seen the value of your life to the Heavenly Father, everyone and everything falls out to the side. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. Thank you, Pumpkin. Yeah. That value go up, baby. Listen, you learn the value of the thing. You said definitely change. Come on, Lauren. You learn to value what God values. The things I used to care about, I don't anymore, baby. Listen. People be like, blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, I don't really care. I mean, not, thank you. Oh, thank you. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. You said all of it is an afterthought. I'm trying to tell you, thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate that. You learn. You said you changed so much. Come on. This is the thing. A work in process, but definitely change. Come on. But listen, it is a breaking chains and bonds one by one. Come on. This is the thing. Once you realize your value and how God really cares about you, you'll stop searching for love outside of God. Hi. Hey. You will stop searching for love outside of God once you realize how much He loves you. And you be like, oh no. Hey. And you be like, wait a minute, so I'm supposed to give you everything and you're going to give me nothing? And what I mean by nothing is, we'll use this in a grown-up sense. I give you my body and God don't condone this, then I'm left feeling empty. And I got the regret because I let God down. I got the shame if I, whatever is going on. Even if we've been dealing, but God has been good to me, and then I fall and slip or run and jump, whatever you want to call it. That part. You heard me? Then I got to walk with that. He had me in Leviticus earlier today, and when I tell you the cost of holiness and righteousness is steep, and He was not budging or slacking none of the rules that He gave His people. Listen. I'm trying to tell you. Listen. You get to a point where you like, I'm cool. And thank you, Pumpkin. And you might want to do it. In the beginning, it's difficult. But after a while, it'll almost make you sick. You be like, do what? Do you know what I'm giving? No. Go back to feeling, no. Go, even if it's not an intimate relationship with a person, you can feel used with a friend. And you get nothing. You gave and gave and gave and gave and gave of yourself in whatever facet you did that, and then you get nothing. You get stabbed in the back. You get, anything He give me is going to multiply. You hear me? Realize my time is way more important than money. Come on. You said I was getting a longing for company, and then I got to thinking I have God, so what more could I possibly need? I be feeling that too. Like, dang, God, I can't even have a friend. And I'm not even talking about just a guy. He don't let me be around nobody. But then when I think about it, most times when folks get added to my life, I be irritated. So then, never mind. This'll pass. It'll pass. It will pass. It will pass. It'll pass. It will pass. You hear me? So, seeing that, it was different. I'm gonna be honest with you. Watching that, and it's like, and that's why I think so fired up. That's why I be fired up, because people want to give this, oh, God knows, and oh, honey, it's okay. No, it ain't. Ship up or shape out, because that's basically what he's gonna be saying. Thank you. The excuses your pastor gave you ain't gonna work with God as to why you ain't gonna be able to buy him. You ain't gonna be able to, oh, Pastor, I love you, God, I love you. He said, but you didn't, because when you love a person, you don't keep hurting them. And sin hurts me. Sin makes me sick. It doesn't make me feel good at all. And you kept doing it. So much so that I had to push you away from me. I couldn't even smell the stench of the sin in my nostrils. And so you have to go away because you're stinky. Because just like if you walk in your house and something has gone bad in the trash or gone bad in the refrigerator, you get it out. Oh, find out what that is. What is that y'all done left in the trash? Blah, blah, blah. It had a whole house thinking. You think God want dirty, nasty, stinky sin in his house, which is where you trying to go? Sin, he literally says sin stinks in his nostrils. And he's supposed to let that in his. How long you gonna let some bad meat sit in your house? Spoiled milk. And it's steeping. How long you gonna let it sit there? Outside the camp it goes, far away where you can't smell it and don't never gotta smell it again. You go back to the trash and get the trash out when it stunk up your house that bad. So why would God come back and get you when you smell like stinky rotten milk in his nose? Did my phone just die? It did. Thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate it. Now you see why I be like, do you want the truth or do you want the other stuff? If you want the other stuff, that'll be down the hall because I don't got none of that for you. Isaiah 65, ERV. Y'all want some or what? You wanna read it with me or Isaiah 65, ERV, please. Let's bust it down real quick. Say here when you get there. Say here when you get there. All right, here we go. Ooh, stiff body is cold. No, I need to keep it warm in here. It says, I helped people who had not come to me for advice. What? I helped people who had not come to me for advice. Those who found me were not looking for me. I spoke to a nation that does not use my name. I said, here I am. Here I am. All day long I stood ready to accept those who turned against me. But they kept doing whatever they wanted to do. And all they did was wrong. They kept doing things right in front of me that make me angry. They offer sacrifices and burn incense in their special gardens. They sit among the graves waiting to get messages from the dead. They eat the meat of pigs, and their pots are full of soup made from unclean meat. But they tell others, don't come near me. Don't touch me because I am holy. They are like smoke in my eyes, and their fire burns all the time. Look here. Look, here is a letter that lists all your sins. I will not be quiet until I pay you back for these sins. I will do it by punishing you. I, the Lord, am doing this because of your sins and the sins of your ancestors. They did these sins when they burned incense in the mountains. They shamed me on those hills, and I punished them first. The Lord says, when there is new wine in the grapes, people squeeze out the wine, but they don't completely destroy the grapes because the grapes can still be used. I will do the same thing to my servants. I will not destroy them completely. I will keep some of the people of Jacob. Some of the people of Judah will get my mountains. I will choose the people who will get the land. My servants will live there. Then Sharon Valley will be a field for sheep. The valley of Achor will be a place for cattle to rest. All this will be for my people, for the people who come to me for help. But people left the Lord, so you will be punished. You forgot about my holy mountain. You began to worship luck. You held feast for the false god fate. But I decided what would happen to you. You will be killed with the sword. You will all be unalive because I called to you, but you refused to answer me. I spoke to you, but you would not listen. You did what I said is evil and chose to do what I did not like. So this is what the Lord God says. My servants will eat, but you evil people will be hungry. My servants will drink, but you will be thirsty. My servants will be happy, but you will suffer shame. My servants will shout for joy, but you will cry out in pain. Your spirits will be broken, and you will be very sad. Your names will be like curses to my chosen servants. The Lord God will unalive you, and then he will call his servants by a new name. The Lord says, people now ask blessings from the earth, but in the future they will ask blessings from the faithful God. People now trust in the power of the earth when they make a promise, but in the future they will trust in God who is faithful. That's because the troubles in the past will all be forgotten. They will be hidden from my sight. Real quick. Do that sound like he playing? He said, the people that don't follow me, they going to be hungry. My servant's going to be cool. He said you just keep on doing stuff. Right in my face, too. You ain't even trying to hide it like you could. But you going to just keep being disrespectful. He said, do you understand that I came and found you? He said, I gave you advice you didn't even ask me for. So when you went to your homeboy, I really spoke to your homeboy and gave you the advice to make you better, and you still didn't come to me. You didn't even realize it was me talking to you. They changed it because it's ERV, I'm guessing. But when he said, matter of fact, give me 1 second. Hold on, we're moving too fast. You gotta make the moment last. Kicking down the cobblestones. Do 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 do. Well, I guess it says there is a smoke. But basically, he was saying, your sin stink in my nose. All the stuff you doing is stink in my nose. Like I can smell it. It's hot. And I'm about to get you away from me because you stink. Just like when your kids go outside and they get musty. You be like, go get in the tub. Hurry up. Don't, go get in the tub because you smell like outside. Don't lay on no bed or nothing. Go get your tail in some water. You stink. Don't come over here trying to hug. Go on and get in the tub. Literally. Literally. It's a scary thought. All these people, just like, oh yeah, I know I'm going to heaven. Y'all used to think I was crazy. Now that y'all understand, I don't know if he's going to let me in or not. Like, I honestly don't. I pray that he does. But I don't know. And this is why we be like, oh, I know I'm going to heaven. Oh, okay, well then why you got to go to Judgment Day then? The judge decides where you go, not you. You don't get to say, okay, I want to go to Rikers Island. He tell you where you going to serve out your sentence. You don't get to choose how long your sentence is going to be. If you go to max or minimum, you don't choose none of that. The judge does. Well, these are our judgment means there's something coming after that. And we all waiting on Judgment Day, ain't we? Are we not? Listen. I can't believe my phone died. What the heck? I need to go get my other charger. Hold on, y'all. So if you wonder why I be going hard on y'all, he is going to. So there's that. I mean, do you want to get into heaven or not? Because it ain't as easy as these niggas that sold y'all. Told you it was going to be. And if you've been here a while, you ready for yourself. You know how many ministers and pastors and people that told me I'm doing too much? Or, now we all done heard this. That's going too deep for me. Maybe that's why God said, go away from me, you worker. You said you didn't want to get to know me. I never knew you. You said you didn't want to get to know me either. That was too deep for you. You just wanted what everybody else knew about me, and that was enough for you. To quote the same scriptures and look like a church person and talk like a church person. That was enough. So that people thought you were saved and you acted the way that people said church people should act. Thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You hear me? I'm just saying. You hear what I'm saying? This is a real thing. Your soul, your eternal soul is on the line. And you want somebody to tell you what you want to hear and talk to you like you want. Well, get away from me. You ain't going to like it over here. If you don't want the truth on what it is and flat and to the point, like that's it, 10 toes down, you going to hate it over here. Because I'm not giving it to you no way but straight. You hear me? I got to worry about if I'm going to hell for my stuff. And God has given me a chance. I'm not perfect. I mess up every day, probably. I'm sure I do. Every day. In one, whether it be in thought or whatever else it is, I probably messed up. But I still be trying to, hey, help me get it together because I realize how serious. You do not come back. Once you leave this for good, and that lad, he snatched that breath back to him, it don't matter how many people, oh, I know they went to heaven. God said, I didn't know that. And maybe that's why I don't do funerals no more. Because I can't sit in here and listen to y'all lie. In the pulpit at that. I know they made it to heaven. You a liar and the truth ain't in you. You don't know that they made it to heaven. Well, they was a good person by what you saw. What? Because they was faithful to the church? That don't mean they was faithful to God. Sometimes people be more faithful to their organization and their bishop than they do God. God will tell them don't go to the convention. Bishop say, God ain't told you that. Well, God know that it's going to be somebody you going to hook up with up there. That's why he didn't want you to go. And you listen to your bishop. And then you got into a situation. And now you're going to say, well, I don't know. And the bishop say, yo, it's all right. No, it ain't. You shouldn't have told me not to go. I mean, if I tell you God told me to stay home, but you want our church to look fat for the other people, and then I get caught up in some sin, first of all, you my shepherd. And why you didn't trust my Holy Ghost enough for me to be like, and that's when them people, I told you, when I got my Bibles, and them people was telling, right before that, they was telling me God was not telling me to sit at home and study. I said, well, why he give me these then? Because I didn't even know these existed. They just showed up in my house. And there's only 800 in the whole entire world. Not 8,000, not 80,000, not 800,000, not 8 million, 800. I would look at that as a key to unlock a door. I don't know about you. I didn't know they existed. And someone who doesn't even believe in the Bible spent $1,000 on Bibles to bring them to me. Just one. It's technically one Bible, one volume. I didn't even have a bed to sleep in at the time. Or a car. I said that $1,000 Dad could have been spent on something more valuable. I can't drive these. I can't sleep on them. They not giving me no gas money to put in nobody's pocket to take me to the store. I told you I needed help. He said I sent it. I sent it. I sent you all the help you need. Right there. Special help too. And guess what? Still using the help that he sent. Thank you. Thank you. You hear me? I'm still using the help he sent. The knowledge. You hear me? Still working on it. Still using it. Thank you, Dad. And it has been more valuable than a car, a bed, a crib, a nice career, my business, doing the numbers. It's been way more valuable than that. 1,000,000 times more valuable. You wanted temporary, and he wanted to send me everlasting help. Come on now. Did. And look what it turned into. God is only going to give you stuff most times you can share or multiply. Everything he give you, you're supposed to multiply it. Well, guess what? How many of y'all, not trying to be funny, and I'm not saying if you still do go, that's fine. But how many of you have got a closer relationship with God and you've stopped a lot of stuff since it is not just about church to you, it's actually about relationship? I just want to see something. Anybody quit going to church or stop as much as you used to, but you're closer to God, Christ now than you were when you was in church every Sunday? You actually worry about him seeing what you do now? Okay. God told me to stay home and learn, and he was going to teach me. There were bishops and pastors that said God was not telling me that. God was not telling me that. God ain't telling you to stay home. Forsake not to assemble yourselves. I said, well, it be me, God, and Jesus. I don't know if that's enough, but technically that's like 3. And if you count the Holy Spirit, 4. And whatever angels he's decided to bring with him when he's teaching me. He taught me to stay home and learn. And then you know what he taught me to do? He told me to do? Stay home and teach. Where do I teach from every single day? Even prior to TikTok, my phone started ringing at 3 o'clock in the morning. What you read this morning? I know God had you read something. And I didn't realize it at first, that he would have me read. And then every single person that called me that day, whatever their problem was, had everything to do with what he had me reading at between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 and 5 o'clock in the morning. So he gave me the tools to minister for the rest of the day. But I had to get up and get it for myself first. You said since we haven't been to church in 2 months, we have had so much peace. We tired of the BS. Hallelujah. I know exactly what you mean. Thank you so much, Miss Moore. I'm just saying. So God told me, and what he gave me, I told y'all my Bible studies didn't start with y'all. He started with one person. Then it started being people were calling me like, you still in Bible study with them? I thought we was going to read whatever. To the point where I had to start having video calls where it's 3-4 people on there. We studying at a time. That wasn't enough. Just come to our house. We going to cook. My pastor is my dad. And we have had to confront. We have to confront him next Saturday. Baby, record it for it. No, I'm just playing. Look at being messy. I'm just playing. That don't make me happy. It don't. But sometimes. Because people's souls is in. I am. People's souls. Ask God to help y'all do it in love. So that he can receive it. You hear me? What happened? I am home learning. And lost my only child. Now what? He about to teach you so you can help some other mamas that done lost their babies. Remember I told you, you might not have been here for that, Kika. Right when God told me to sit home and learn is when my daughter got diagnosed with basically what they consider a brain tumor. And I had just lost my place. I moved out of my place December 22nd. My daughter got diagnosed February 11th. So basically 6 weeks after I had to shut my business down that I had worked so hard on. Okay. Had to put all my stuff in storage. I had to put all my stuff in storage. Moved in with a lady I had only known maybe 2 months. We moved in a 1 bedroom. It was her, her daughter, and her niece in one room, and me and my 2 daughters in another room. In the living room. Okay? In a 1 bedroom. They had 2 bathrooms, but 1 bedroom. I'm like, this makes no sense. I was just meeting with people trying to get $1.3 million for my business. This makes no sense. Like, the money is right there. They already said they're going to give it to me. They're going to start out. Why is this happening right now? And then God asked me, what will I do when chaos hits my house? And I'm thinking chaos already hit my house because I'm homeless right now. I didn't set for a year building my business and doing this and that, learning business, all of this. And then right when everything is about to start, I have to leave my house. And then 6 weeks later, my daughter gets diagnosed with a rare situation. Very rare. And as soon as my daughter got diagnosed, like, a lady called me and she was like, I need to come talk to you. And I'm like, I can't right now. She's like, I'm already at your house. I'll be here when you get here. I was like, well, we need to eat. She was like, I'll go get it and be back. And then more people showed up that evening. And I had to sit and do like an 8-hour Bible study after just finding out that my daughter has an issue going on in her body. He wouldn't even let me cry. For like 3 months. He kept me too busy. I literally only slept 4 hours a day. In between taking her to all her appointments and me having to minister in between there, I got down to like 100 pounds. I was 103 pounds. I kid you not. But my spiritual growth, the way I could see in the spirit and hear in the spirit, because at the same time that my daughter, right, he got you, pumpkin. Listen, God knows more than we do. And let me tell you this, in any situation, even when it feels like we can't take it, he has given you the option with the least amount of destruction. And I know that sounds crazy if you lost your baby, but it could have came at a later time or a different time, and it would have been worse. He always takes whatever is going to cause the least amount of casualty. Does that make sense? I don't know if you were here when I told the story about the lady. Her baby had passed away. He was like 2 years old. And then she prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and asked God to bring him back. And then he did. But when he was like 17 or 18, he unalived like 4 people and then unalived himself. And she said she wished she would have just let him go when he was 2, because he never would have committed that. But she begged God to bring him back, but God knew the pain that he was going to cause 15, 16 years later. And so now, not only was her baby gone, she had to deal with the fact that he had taken other people's lives and then unalived himself. And it devastated her. So him choking on something or whatever happened at 2 would have been more livable than what she had to live with after. You see what I'm saying? We don't know the future. We think we do, and we think we know how things are going to turn out. And when it's not right with us, we're like, God, why would you let it happen? And he said, because what was coming later would have been worse. You wouldn't have been able to make it through that. You wouldn't have been able to make it through. So I did it now, because this is detrimental, but not as detrimental as that would have been. Does that make sense? And I had to learn that lesson, because I've been through some crazies. I haven't ever lost a child, but I've been through some gut wrenching, and I'm just like, God, but on the other side of it, I saw, okay, because this could have been way worse. Or if it would have happened at a later date, I don't know if I would have came back. So he knows, even though we don't always understand, his appointed time is perfect, even though it doesn't seem like it. Even though we don't understand, he knows. God don't want nobody to suffer. You don't know what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And so to to not have you be so bitter or so whatever, he does it at a time that he knows best, not us. And that's in everything. That's not just with loss. That's not just with sickness. That's just not with, you could lose your job at the time where you just getting your bills together. And he said, yeah, but then you did that all without me, or whatever it is. It's all of these different things. And that's part of maturing spiritually, is learning that and being okay with it. That's why I said, praying, God, let me be okay with your will. Help me to understand your will. Help me to know your will. Help me to be okay with your will. Baby, that's a different prayer. I'm just grateful for the time I had with her. I know that, yeah, yep. And think about this, Pumpkin. We have so many other people in here that have lost their children. It's a support system for you here. I didn't even realize, we did a class, and I think one day it was like 40 or 50 women, almost parents, that lost their children. So you have people that have gone through it 20, 30 years ago. You got people that have just happened 2, 3 years ago. You got people that have lost their babies. It's a young lady here. Her baby died. Her son got shot this year, just in like August. So you got some people in here that understand what you're going through. I don't know it specifically because I haven't lost a child, but you got some mamas in here. You said you lost your baby in 1997. Well, guess what? Jen, Steph, here y'all go. We need y'all to inbox. We got a baby that need somebody that did. Remember when I told you, I said you got to walk that hard road, but what you're going through ain't for you, it's for somebody else. So you can Harriet Tubman them out of it. Here go y'all niece right here. You hear me? Here go y'all niece right here. Those of you that have been through this, we got a mama that needs y'all. Jen. Yes, it made 4 years since I lost my 18-year-old daughter that was murdered. Okay, baby. Well, I'm gonna need do y'all thing. God put y'all here for a reason. You went through what you went through to help somebody else make it through it. Y'all need to be inboxing each other, so that way y'all inbox her. Kika Bree, I lost my daughter, and God blessed me with another daughter 6 months later than the underground care role. Come on now, Mari. Listen. Y'all send her a message. Kika, put your name up there so that y'all send her y'all got to reach out to her. This is what I'm asking y'all to do. You welcome, Pumpkin. God know what we need, and it be right in front of us the whole time and don't even know it. Your help been waiting for you, and it's been in class with you every time you been here. Ain't that crazy? Your help already, somebody that already walked the road is here. Not just one, it's a lot of them. You got at least a good 30 people in here for sure in our school that are not maybe here tonight, that have lost children. So now you got some folks to go talk to him more. And then I had another daughter 16 years later at 40. He doubled down. Come on, Empress. You hear that? This baby says she lost the baby. And then 6 months later, God gave her another baby. And then she started talking to God about it. Talking to him more. And then gave her another daughter 16 years later. At 40. So he doubled down. He give you double for your trouble, baby. Show do. Thank CC. Empress, can you please get with Kika, please? You see this, baby? It's some folks that got a testimony for you. Look at your help. My daughter was taken away by her ex 3 years ago. You got Uncle Avery. Oh, you 54. Lord, I thought you was a baby. Okay. Well, hey then. Well, you got some sisters and brothers. Uncle Avery right there. He is our uncle. He older than both of us. My son been gone 34 years and it's hard. Miss Edith, see? Y'all, come on. There go our whole grief. Not grief. I don't want to, because we not claiming grief. Because grief is a spirit that attaches and it don't let go. But y'all support group is here. Try Cedric. Is that your name, Mr. Avery? Y'all got a whole support group right here. So all the people that you see, they say they lost baby, don't matter if it was 30 years ago. They done made it 30 years before you. They done made it 20 years before you. They done made it 10 years. Here we go. Because you all understand something that we don't understand. Not all of us. You hear me? But this is why God be putting us together, because our help is here. You just got to speak up. If you struggling with something, is somebody else here struggling with it? That's why God put us together. He said where there's two, it's some strength there. Because if they fall, it's somebody to help that person up. Yeah. Right. But God will send people to help mend your heart. A stranger told me, you passed the test. Come on now. CERCA, I lost my mom, husband, and brother-in-law in an accident. God has kept me. I'm trying to tell you. It don't matter what the situation is. It's something you don't get over, but God will help you through. Exactly. Exactly. And God sends people that have felt the same pain or joy or happiness or experiences. The devil wants you to feel like you all by yourself and don't nobody understand, baby. It's somebody in here for you. I promise. Several. Mm-mm. It don't matter. I'm sure. Listen. God does not let you interact with people for no reason. And that's even online. You choose what you're going to take from it. The interaction. You choose. You hear me? Take the meat and spit out the bones. I've lost 2 adult children from heart disease. Really? You said my WRU has gave me some encouraging words. I'm trying to tell you, listen to me. If y'all think that we just been over here for giggles, that's not why we been here. Yes, we laugh, but this is a place of help if you allow it to be. Lost my mom, daughter, dad, January 17th, 18th, and 19th. Excuse me. In different years, so the month of January is hard. You see? Sorry to hear that, Uncle Avery, Mr. Avery. This the thing. Whatever you struggling with, it's some other people in here struggling too. That's why we come here and tell our business. Because the devil wants us to keep it hidden. You ain't about to keep torturing me with this. I need some help. Is there anybody I can talk to about it? And I have not experienced every single thing. But I know that God will put people in your life who have, so that you all can heal together. That is one thing I know. And in one way or another, we all been here healing together. That's why you don't feel like you did when you first came here. That's why stuff that used to come up against you back then that would trick you up don't trick you up now. Sometimes sorrow is a test to see if you're going to get angry or focus on him more. Yeah! That's it. Not sometimes, it's every time. Every time. Every single time. Because every time, listen, every time. You hit that on the nail, but every time. Every single time. Anything that okay. So, do y'all remember me saying that's why I don't say test? I say this is an experience I'm going through right now. Because you cannot fail an experience. Say it. You cannot fail an experience. Say it with me. I cannot fail an experience. I cannot fail an experience. If God says that the stuff that the devil meant for bad, he's always going to turn it around for my good, then I can't fail. Now that don't mean I can just do whatever I want. No. But if even my failure, God is going, if as long as I'm trying to get closer to Him, all the bad stuff that happened to me is going to turn around for my good. That's why people are like, "Ooh, I'm going through a test right now." No, I'm going through an experience. Because when I would say test, I would bomb out every time. I would self sabotage and just hurry up and fail it. I would hurry. I ain't gonna lie. I'm telling you right now, self sabotage. It was crazy. But when I started looking at it like, okay, God, what are you trying to teach me through this experience? Either I'm going to learn what I'm supposed to be doing or what I'm not supposed to be doing. And once I learn what I'm not supposed to be doing, it's not that I failed the test. It's just now I know where my triggers are. So next time when this comes back up, I know how to reroute it. I know what to do with me. I might not be able to change the person or the situation, but I know how to change me so I don't get the same outcome. And when I started looking at it like that, baby, I was hitting the markers. You hear me? And it was easier. And two, stuff just started falling off. I didn't have to make up no thing of, well, I can't talk to you no more because, but no, 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 no. No. You are not for the next season of my life. And it's okay. I've enjoyed the time that we've had together as friends or kicking it or whatever else it was. But you don't fit in my next state, like where I'm going next, the station I'm going to. You don't fit there. And I'm not about to keep trying to put you in here because you don't fit. It's not enough room. It's not enough room over here. You got to go. Even though I like seeing your face. Even though I like smelling your lip. You can't stay here. You got to go. Even though your hugs might be super comforting. Absolutely not. You cannot stay here. You have to go. That's friends, family. I don't care who it is. I don't. If every time I talk to you, I'm anxious or I feel like I got to be on the defense or I can feel like I got to try to, that's too much energy being exerted on things that don't matter and don't have value. I won't be doing it. Not when I can be asking God a question and He going to answer it. I don't got to keep asking Him. He just going to tell me. You hear me? Mm-mm. So I'll be right back, y'all. Give me 1 second. So understand, you ain't here for no reason. It's somebody, the stuff that you think about when you driving home and you zone out, and before you know what, you home and you driving and you paying attention, but you in another world. It's 18 people probably in here going through the same thing, driving home in a daze just like you, trying to figure it out. God said, I already have. Me losing them actually brought me closer to the Most High, no doubt. Anger was not an option for me. I am going to be better, not bitter. I am going to be better, not bitter. And that's from every side. I don't care how hard this hurt. God, help me be better and not bitter. Did y'all think about what we was reading and kind of looking into earlier? Hmm. If I had let anger take over me, I would have become a destroyer of everyone in my life. I'm trying to listen. I already know, That's why people be like, I don't know how you can still be nice after what you've been through. What does mean gonna help? What is being miserable? It's just gonna make me feel worse. Negative energy makes you feel like crap, like poop, like fertilizer. I'll be mad right now, sad right now, but that ain't about to help my life none. Sitting around being angry about it ain't about to do nothing. Treating everybody bad is only gonna make my stuff worse. I don't like the way I feel, so why would I intensify it? No, thank you. I'm gonna figure out something that's gonna make me feel better. I don't know what it is, but it ain't about to be sitting in it. Color, do something. I don't know, but I'm getting my mind off these thoughts. I don't want this. I don't like this feeling, and I don't want to feel it tomorrow or the next day. I'm so happy I'm not in that place anymore. I'm trying to tell you. Who want to be miserable? Not me. And I don't want to be around people that's miserable. I don't want to be around people that don't know, want no solution. No, go away. If you want to keep living, if I can talk to you and 10 years ago you was still doing the same thing and it's not productive, baby, it does still hurt. It does, but God can heal any hurt you have. But you have to believe that he can do that. Do you realize you feel the same hurt he felt? Anybody that's lost a child, do you realize that you feel the exact same pain that he felt? He had to watch his only begotten son be murdered as well. And not just murdered, he was beaten. He had kind of already had a crazy life, for real. People was trying to unalive him before he ever even got here. How you think God felt about that? That Jesus fought for his life his whole life. And he hadn't even done nothing yet. People didn't like him just because of what people said about him before he was even born. There's nothing that we have felt that Jesus didn't feel. That's why he so we can say, God, you don't know how I feel. You ain't never been in a human body. He said, I actually have. I came down and experienced it for myself just so that I know. Not that he didn't already, but so we couldn't say, God, you never felt. He said, actually, I did. I'm in the same around one person because I realized they are monitoring spirit. Of my every move. Others experience me different and I see my change. Baby, them monitoring spirits. Listen, I was just talking to somebody this evening and I said, he sent me 2 different angels to me both times. I knew they were girls before ultrasounds. Listen, this the thing. I just told somebody, I said, people that are in competition with you or monitoring spirit, whatever you want to call it, I said they can't focus on winning the race because they have to watch you. When they see you running faster, right? They can't even really look ahead for real because they too busy looking back to see if you trying to catch them. Right? They gotta watch you. Cause they trying to do better than you, not realizing they not focusing on their own race. You missing your markers trying to watch me hit mine. I'm not worried about if you hitting your markers or not. I'm just making sure I'm hitting them. Period. You constantly trying to tell me about my failures, that means you're not watching out for your own. I'm trying to be a better me, not a bitter me. And if I gotta, like my ex-husband used to say, Walk with my pain, baby, gather it up. But what I won't do is sit in it. I could definitely be what was me. Y'all didn't heard some of my stories. Some. I could be bitter because I got put out at 11 years old and was out here in this world all by myself. And I'm still all by myself. I could be bitter. Well, I didn't have this and I figured it out. I knew how to pray at 11. And God brought me what I needed at 11. And he brought me what I needed at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Whether I had any family or not. Whether my family supported me or not. Whether my friends supported me or not. God was sent a stranger, baby. I don't have any reason to be bitter. I don't. And I'm not saying I don't think about the stuff that people do to me. I do. But I also look at how blessed my life is before TikTok, because I don't want people thinking, oh, just because it's TikTok. No. I realized that the people that did me dirty, God took care of them. I didn't have to wish nothing bad on them. As a matter of fact, I'd be like, man, you cool. Oh, what? No, you cool. I ain't tripping. Because I know how my daddy worked. I learned how he worked. Hey, Pumpkin. And baby, when you do people wrong and they didn't try to do nothing but right by you, yeah. That part. Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of salt for looking back. You hear me? You hear me, Ori? You hear me? I don't want to go back. And the devil been bringing folks from 1979 my way, baby. I'm talking about folks that's falling out the woodworks. I ain't talked to in years. I ain't seen in years. Falling out the woodwork. No, ma'am. No, sir. I will not be going backwards. Plus, God been too good. Do you see these pants? Do you see them? He sent these custom for me. He makes me feel special every day. Even before TikTok, he made me feel special. You hear me? Why would I go back to begging people for attention and why do you treat me like this when all God do is treat me good? Even if I'm in the shelter, if I'm lit, it don't matter. He still show me favor. So why would I go back to begging my mama to pay attention or my whatever it is, asking a friend to be loyal to me when God is always paying attention, when God is always listening, when God always cares about my feelings, and when he always make me feel special like I'm the only one on the planet. Y'all didn't watch it. He don't ever let me down. He ain't never late. He might not come on time when I want him to come, but he ain't never late. So I'm going to get that up for some wishy-washy humans? It's not a worthy trade. I don't want to barter that. I don't want to barter my happiness, my joy, my peace, my security in him for yo when you feel like it. And it took me a long time to get here because I used to trade the things that he gave me because I thought what they were giving me was real, whether it be friendship, this job. And I'm like, okay, God, I can't pray all the time because I got to be at work. You can trade God in for a lot of stuff. It don't have to be, relations. It could be a lot of stuff. You could trade God in for looks. You can trade him in for fame. You can trade what he gave. You can trade. God has and knows exactly what we need. He does. He does. He does. He knew when he needed what we all needed when he put us together. And just think, he had been working on us before we all got here together so that we would be open enough to receive it. You hear me? The writing is on the wall. It is. But think about it. He had to open me up to want to do this part. Because I was like, I I don't know what I don't know if I wouldn't even no. And because people have been telling you need a YouTube, you need a YouTube. I've been hearing I need a YouTube for over 10 years, and I was like, well, when God ready for me to get one, He'll get something will happen. It did. Something happened. It happened in 20 and 22. It sure did. But y'all had to be ready. Other things had to be in place. We almost at 3 now. We are 2 months from 3 years. Circa, you have been a blessing and an inspiration to us all. Y'all done inspired me too. We learn together. We learn together. And that's why I'm grateful. Y'all teach me every day too. We learn together and I love it here. I love that we share information. I love that everybody don't be getting all butt hurt and we could be real grown and real mature over here as far as a growth. You said, woohoo, hey man, I love it here. Listen, we've been trying to get our soul. God done gave us almost 36 months to get it right. Not saying we just almost at a time we are. But we could have been doing a lot of other stuff this last 35 months, 34 months, 35. No, 30, 35. That part. You got to do it when he say, Uncle Abe. You hear me? We could have did a lot of stuff. Think about all the things that you could have been busy with in the last 3 years. Not sitting at home reading or taking your books with you to work. And then, how many times? Now, see, this is what I love because I know my peoples. You got your OTP. Can you tell me the exact number of people that you shared the information with that you learned in the OTP? And I'm counting Facebook posts and all. If you reposted one of our videos, if you posted something you read, if you posted a snippet or whatever else, or just what you learned. Have you shared it with somebody in the grocery store? Have you shared it with somebody at work, in a library, in your family? You can't even count how many times you multiplied the information God gave you in the last 3 years. He gave you some information and you multiplied it in 2 ways. You learned as much as you could, about as much as you could, and you told anybody that would listen. You hear me? You said and have. You just shared it with your doctor, shared it with whoever. You can't even count how many times you have multiplied what he gave you, whatever year you came here. You cannot even count how many times you multiplied the information that he gave you. When you saw somebody that was not at peace, you took them to books that was about their situation. And 9 times out of 10, they got peace. You know what they did? If they read it, they wouldn't told somebody else about it. So the peace that you gave them, or you helped them find, helped somebody else. And you don't know how many times it's multiplied because you might have not never seen that person again. Excuse me. I like sharing your page with the unlearned as well as expressing what I've learned. Come on. Took my hoodie on a cruise while we were in Jamaica and Mexico. Did? Not they didn't see my stuff in Mexico and Jamaica. Quit playing. And we been to... No, I'm just playing. That's so funny. WOIU. I'm so excited about it when I hear stuff like that. Auntie took us over to Israel. Classy lady then took us I don't know how many places between her and Auntie. Y'all done had our stuff on all the continents. You said we want to go there. Listen, y'all done had our stuff on, and we got a new hoodie and a new t-shirt coming out. It's the last of the last, y'all. So y'all want me to tell y'all what the hoodie is? I wasn't going. I think I did. Did I tell y'all? Did I tell y'all what the hoodie is? I told y'all we got one coming out. I didn't tell y'all what it had on it, did I? Did I tell y'all? Okay, so I'm going to tell you. It's simple. So we doing a black and gray hoodie. Because everybody was like the colors, whatever. We doing a black. I'm guessing you can get it on whatever color hoodie you want. But the one that is going to be like, you know how we got our staple WOIU and then, right? Yeah, it ain't for everybody. It's only for who listening. So we going to have WOIU. It says WOIU and then established in 2022. But it's like real. It look different because I know the gold and green that don't match with everything. So I'm trying to do a hoodie where everybody can you can wear it like an everyday hoodie, basically, right? But there's no CERCA TROVA on the arm anymore. So whatever year you came here, you can get the exact same hoodie, but it's gonna have your year big and chunky on the arm, right? So it'll say WOIU established 2022 just on the front, but it's like white and gray. It's real nice, y'all. But on your arm, whatever year you came, that's the year you get. I mean, if you came in 22 and you want a 22, 23, 24, right, right, right. So, well, the colors is black and white, Mari. The hoodie is already done, but you know, you can, whatever hoodie she got, you can have it put on there. But the color is white and gray. Like, this is one we not changing the colors and all of that. It's just going to be like a uniform, like our maroon one, right? But when you get the WOIU, you either got to get it in green or red because that's like the staple. But we just going to do a black, it's black, white, and gray. No glow in the dark, none of that. It's just super simple. But the thing that I like about it is if you came in 22, you can get the 2022 on the side. If you came in 2023, it's already, we got them all the way up to 2024. So whatever year you came, if you want to just get your everyday hoodie to wear that, then you can have the year that you came. So if you see somebody, you never know because we didn't grew a lot. If you see somebody, you'll know what year they got to WOIU by. Now, some people going to buy 22, 23, and 24 because they just like that extra. I know y'all because I've been here all 3 years and I need one for every year that I'm here. I know my family. Not everybody, but some people will. But it's going to have the year that you came so you can get that on your arm, right? Because some people came in 22, some people came. And I'm interested to see kind of when people joined. You know what I mean? I'm interested how many different 22s we'll have, how many different 23s we'll have, 24. But it's real cool. It's just a simple, because all of our other colors are so wild you can't really wear them all the time. And you said I'm definitely class of 24. So you see, it'll be interesting to see, you know, how many 22s, how many 23s. But also, you know what I was thinking, y'all? Can I play a video for y'all? Some of y'all heard my phone is still dead and I plugged up the wrong device. I know. I thought about doing varsity jackets. I did. But I don't want no cheesy one. And stuff is so expensive. I wish we had a person that could embroider so we ain't got to pay the people across the water. You know what I mean? And I know people that do it, but will they get it done is the issue. I thought about doing it. Because we ain't did no pajamas in 2 years or nothing. But the cost, I don't want no cheesy stuff. And that's the problem. They be expensive. A nice one, you know what I'm saying, that you can keep for a long time. I don't like that cheesy stuff that they got on the internet right now. It don't make me happy. That it'll rip if you rub. Y'all know how I am with clothes. I gotta buy stuff it's gonna hold up. So that's why we ain't did it. But also, the main reason I did black and white, y'all, I'm about to let y'all hear this video and I'm gonna tell you why. And I had this in mind when I did it. I know. I know. Mari said we bougie. I know. Listen, I just don't like cheap stuff, and I don't mean cheap in price. I mean cheaply made. Cause I'm rough. Y'all see how I am. I gotta. It can't be cheaply made. It ain't gonna make it in my life. I'll be in war one time. So I don't. It gotta be able to last. You said I was sure there in the beginning. Only a couple months later. Listen, I love you too. We all put in as a community. It should come together real smooth. Well, we'll see. Listen, hold on one second. I want y'all to hear something. This is the reason I did black and white too. Black, white, and gray. Simple. I'm about to tell y'all why. Well, I hadn't seen this, but then I saw this. But I talked to Alicia about it, why I wanted to do it the way that I did it. Hold on. What the heck? So they not putting my stuff up here. It seemed seriously. So they taking. Well, I was gonna show y'all. Is this it? Nope. Hold on one second. So I'm starting to see a pattern. Anyway, the guy, y'all might have already seen it, but he was talking about if they declare martial law, you gonna want to not stand out, blah 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 blah. Like don't be, wearing stuff that make yourself stand out and all of this kind of stuff. And I know some of y'all probably already heard it, but I wanted to repeat. I wanted y'all to hear it, and they've taken it out of my repost. They don't even put the gray screen no more. But listen to this too.
Probably half. About half? Yeah. What percentage of your workers are not U.S. born? Probably half. About half? Yeah. How many hours does this go on? It's 24 hours a day. We could milk 8 hours a day, but it wouldn't be feasible or profitable for us to produce milk. So you need workers like this year-round? Yes. Yes. Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota, her farm is just a few miles away. This farmer who voted for her, who voted for Trump, who still supports them, doesn't believe that they would round up immigrants and ask them for their immigration status because it's an open secret that farms in this state are held up by undocumented workers. Are you worried, like some of your other farmers, that if there were a mass roundup of undocumented migrants, that you might lose workers? You may not have enough workers. Well, the question I asked, how they going to do that? Within 2 days, we will not have food. There will not be food anywhere. 2 days? Yes. That's why I predict nobody will be filling shelves, nobody will be producing food. If we once have to shut down and be gone, it's never coming back. Does Governor Noam understand that?
Y'all heard it? That was on CNN 2 days ago. He said if they were to round up he said within 2 days, America wouldn't have no food. That's on CNN, the news. What y'all think about that? I really wish I could find this man's video. It's definitely not letting me find it either. That's not it. Oh, here we go.
If martial law has been declared, this is what you need to do now. Now, you might want to share this with everyone. Did you pay attention to what just happened in South Korea? We might need this information sooner than you think. Here's the steps you need to take immediately after martial law has been enacted. Keep your weapons hidden and unlisted. Lose them. They no longer exist. Same goes for food, ATVs, vehicles, water, medicine. You need to keep these items out of sight and unclaimable. Never talk about your preparations with others. Keep a low profile and avoid looking militaristic. Blend in and become unmemorable. Avoid unnecessary travel at all costs. Checkpoints will be danger points that will put you in contact with the authorities, drawing unnecessary attention to yourself. Even a small accident may get your name in the system, and who knows what lists we've already been put on. Be the perfect citizen in public. The more you plan to break the rules, the more you need to look like someone who would never do such a thing. Publicly support the new regime, but never go out of your way to draw attention to yourself. Be sure to always keep in mind that people will be paid informants. You need to be very careful in these times with whom you trust. Many people may truly think they're doing the moral thing by helping the military government. You have to remember, in these dark times, good guys and bad guys won't be obvious to all. Pay attention and get prepared. APM.
I just have a question. Have I not been telling y'all all of that for 2 years? Have I not been telling y'all all of that for over 2 years? It is Mari. Is my port worker here this evening? We got word that the port. Oh, who told me today about the medicine? Let me tell y'all. So y'all remember when gotta do everything for a reason. Y'all remember we was in class, and I gotta be very careful. So you gonna need to read between the lines, cause y'all already know they on us. We've been gone a week. Listen, don't type, just listen. We were told that tier 4 candy, you only gonna be able to get a 30-day supply of tier 4 candy. So I went and looked up what tier 4 candy my cousin, I was telling her about it, and she went and looked it up. Tier 4 candy is cancer, candy, high blood pressure candy, blood thinner candy, serious illness candy. It's only 15 days for some. Your mama. So guess what came to my mind? If the store, listen, if the store that was going to shut down in August by the water shuts down in January, you said, yep, can't get 90 pieces of candy, only 30 pieces, and yet 15 pieces of candy for store supply. Do y'all remember all the candy was at the store by the water and people couldn't get it? Y'all remember they kept saying that the candy was on the trucks, but couldn't nobody get it? Y'all remember? And they was like, what's that gonna do for help, So now they only telling people you can get 30. You said 30, 15, and what? It's 90, 30, and 15. Okay. So if something happens in January and the store by the water shut down and they not serving people, what's going to happen if you only have 30 days of candy? The fact that God told us to get almost 3 years ago, as much candy as you could, keep getting 90 pieces of candy at a time, and then when it's almost, we got one more month basically, because February, so we almost through January. We got 2 more weeks and we done with this month. So in less than 6 weeks, it'll be 3 years basically. God told us 3 years ago. My insurance doesn't cover some of the candy that I had to stop taking. Interesting. And y'all don't think God is here with us? Something so simple. Why would God tell you that? Because he knew 35 months later they was about to do this. He knew 35 months later, or 30 months later, that this was going to happen. So he told us 24 to 30 months ahead of time, so we had time to prepare. I'm not trying to be funny. How many people that faithfully go to church, because they don't have what they need, are going to end up taking the mark because they weren't prepared and their pastor wasn't telling them to get ready? God's going to understand I need my medicine. He know I can't live without my medicine. You said, and the good shots of the whiskey that need to be in the refrigerator will be harder to get also. Yep. Y'all don't think that's crazy? God told us. And people told us we was tripping and we acting crazy, and now we know why he told us. Because literally what he told us is happening, is it not? He said in a minute you're not going to be able to get candy like that. It ain't going to be so freely available and all of this, and it might be hard to get or it might not be none. So you need to have it. Get all the candy, all your favorite flavors. You need to have it now. You know what else I thought about too? Remember when God was having me tell some of the parents to get outfits and go up 2, 4, 3, like 2 sizes, 4 sizes, 6 sizes, and put them in the bags? Remember this? Everything is about to go up. Kids grow like weeds. But if a lot of people might not be employed at that time, where you going to get the money to buy the clothes from? Or if ain't nothing coming over here, where you going to get it from? He said when you have 4 days before refill, people can put it away and refill. Interesting. Your candies. You can buy more candy. You don't think that's crazy, Rika? So some mamas went out and got about 5, 10 outfits and 2, 3, 4 sizes up. And now, because think about it, when you watch old movies about the Depression and stuff like that, they was having to sew fabric on the bottom of the jeans because wasn't nothing moving around. You know what I mean? You said you've been doing it for the G, baby. Come on, G-Mom. Indeed. 5 wise, 5 foolish. Come on. Yes. Yes. Because if cargo and stuff ain't going to be moving, where you going to get it from if they ain't putting it out or whatever else it is? You're going to have somewhere to go get it. And, honey, some clothes that they can fit is better than no clothes that they can't. You said I got my needles and my thread. Come on, pumpkin. Mamas, get y'all some patches. Yeah, that's it. Get some patches. You can buy them for a little or nothing. You can iron them in or stitch them in. Come on. You said the sugar syrup I was on. I'm not on anymore. You know what? I thought about that earlier too, Darlene. All the people that quit taking candy. They quit eating a lot of candy. Think about all the people that was here that was eating all kinds of, they had Skittles, they had everything. They had the Juicy Pops, they had everything, honey. About a good 10 different kinds of candy or 20 different kinds of candy a day. And some of them are down to 2. Some people don't take any. And look at what God did. He gave you 2 years to stop getting on your sugar stuff. You know what I'm saying? To stop taking all the candy and regulate your body and all of that. And now look. So if when you came here, you had a lot of candy at your house, and now you don't even be messing with the candy like that. You don't even, it might be there, but you don't be eating it and stuff. God did you a big one. He sure did, because he knew about 25, 45 months, so to 20, 25, 35 months from now, you wasn't going to be able to get it anyway. Save the old jeans and shirts for repairs. Yes, ma'am. We have to get more educated on natural remedies and herbs. We do. We got some books. We got some herbal medicine books, old and new. I don't have that many in here because they're in my living room. Actually, y'all got some up. I put some of them up here too, I think. I think I did. I think I did. Here's one. We got a book like this that shows you how to make different medicines and whatnot. Right? You can go to Goodwill and buy all the herbal medicine books you want for about 50 cents or $1. It would be a good thing to do that now while you still can. I thought I had another herbal book. Oh, yep, I do. I'm like, I got another book in here. And we got this one too. 50 most common medicinal herbs. Tell you what they use for and all of that. My receipt is still in here. I bought this May 20th of 2020. Interesting. What else did I buy? I bought Herbal's Guide to Botanical Herbs, the complete natural medicine book, and Diane Danson's Bookman's Herbal. Where is that one at? Hold on, it's another one in here somewhere because I got the receipt. It's another one, and I can tell you today about all of them. That's crazy. Well, there's a. That might be this one. Oh, okay. This is the herbal, and then there's one more in here somewhere. That's crazy. The receipt's still in there. Yeah. This is all part of preparation. Yes, it is. With the weather code, I said, please cover or close your drains. Yep. To keep the cold air out. That part. Time for it. But it's in here somewhere. What good is a book inventory gonna do when people be sending me books still, and I gotta find a new place to put them? Before y'all knew every book I had in my library. Now, if the Holy Ghost don't bring it to my mind, I might not know it's in here. I'm telling you what I know. I used to know every book in my library could go. Y'all remember I used to be able to go right to it, boom. Right? Even if it was on the floor, I knew exactly what I was looking for. Another bookshelf. Right. It's supposed to be one right here. No, that don't help. Because when I'm scared to build another shelf. And I need to. The wood is in there. I haven't built it yet and if I do, I just probably won't tell y'all. That's what I'm thinking. If I do build another one, I'm not going to tell you guys about it. Because the wood's still in there stacked up on the floor because I'm scared. Because the last time, when I filled this one up, y'all felt like that wasn't enough. And you see when it was that, we had all the space on the top and everything. Y'all didn't care. I built this, everything on there. Then y'all started sending more stuff. So then I had to get these ones that was on there. And now we got a whole another 8-foot shelf. I don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all. Yeah. I don't trust y'all. Because if I tell y'all build another shelf, they be like, okay, because y'all been witnessing that book. No. No, auntie. No, I do not trust. I don't trust y'all with that. I don't. But am I grateful and thankful that y'all thought about me? Yes. Have some of you all purchased books that I told God I wanted a long time ago? Yes. Have the answers that I've been looking for in certain things that I wrote questions to been answered because of the books y'all sent me? Yes. Hey, if you build it, the books will come. That's why I have it. I believe that in my whole heart. And that's why I ain't did it. For that reason. Ain't no space in here. This bookshelf, except for I got like books in my room now, they're everywhere. And I don't want them to get messed up. There's nowhere. Somebody was fussing at me yesterday because I ain't been to the P.O. box. Sometimes I be scared. Waiting on God to let me hit the lottery so I can just go on and have a nice library somewhere. You know what I mean? Give me a little 3-bedroom or something. And just the whole room ain't nothing but books. Well, this whole room ain't nothing but books, but a bigger room that ain't nothing but books. Anyway, let me run to the restroom real quick. I'm probably going to get off and go process my stuff, maybe. I don't know yet. I don't know. Because I need to do get my what's the name in a dehydrator. Hold on, y'all. I want to tell y'all thank you for something, and this might sound real crazy. I want to tell y'all thank you for prepping with me. It'll be enough room, Mr. Smitty. It will. Why am I trying to block my blessings? Because I don't want to be thrown out of my apartment for being a hoarder. That's why. I don't want to be thrown out. Because if you get to having too much stuff, they be trying to kick you out. And I ain't found a house. I ain't even been looking for one. So I don't, maintenance come in here and see all this stuff. They be looking like, you hear me? But listen, I'm grateful that we did not have to prep by ourselves. Sarah Bear, you said everything that you said would happen is happening sooner than we think. It is, isn't it? Thank you for sharing the knowledge and helping us get ready for what's to come. Mrs. Smitty, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. You know I ain't got my glasses. I'm sorry. Mrs. Smitty, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Y'all know I ain't had my glasses in over the month. So, I'm sorry. But I'm grateful that we were able to prep together, because it is a sucky feeling knowing something is coming and nobody believes you. And so then we have somebody to talk to here about what's going on, and we can talk about it and not get all frazzled like everybody else or block it out. We can actually address it, figure out what we're going to do about it, and move on. Yeah, I know. Hey, just saw a beautiful meteor while you were talking. Pretty cool. This is the thing, family. Everybody called us crazy, but now you understand why I said in a little while you will be grateful for the information that God is going to give you. And people are going to call you crazy. They're going to say you're overreacting, you paranoid, you all of this stuff. Baby, you was right on time. You hear me? You was right on time. Just think if we would have waited 2 years. Where would we be right now? If we didn't listen to God when he was first telling us, where would we be, y'all? We would be out here lost like a lot. I'm not saying everybody lost, it's preppers and all kind of stuff. But most people around the world think that this is going to be another situation and we'll be out of it like they did with 2020, and that the world is just going to go back to being normal. The world ain't been normal since. We've just adapted to what's happening, but more and more of our liberties are being taken away every day. More and more of the things that we need to survive are being removed subtly, just, one little thing at a time, and you don't even realize what's going on if your eyes are not open. We understand that, I don't hear my body standing up. We don't have much. I'm going to tell you what really freaked me out, and some of y'all seen it. I showed it here. When all them Jews was singing, talking about the Messiah is on his way, all I could think about was the Antichrist getting ready to be in that temple, y'all. He getting ready to reveal himself. Which means Enoch and them, like, we should be seeing them shortly. The fowls is on their way. You know what else I found out today too? And I touched on it a little bit in class. The other day when we was talking about all of Asia and that is going to march through Asia. You know the people we were studying about today, they did the exact same thing back in the day. You hear what I said? It's already happened before. And guess what? When Shalaman Seer and the other dude we was talking about earlier, Sennacherib, got together, baby, they came from the Near East, exactly how it said, and they unalived everything in their path on their way to where they was going. Slaughtered. You know what that made me think about? Game of Thrones. And it was another, I think it was The Witcher. Was it The Witcher rewatch where they was doing that? Y'all remember when we watched The Witcher? In every city that them people was going to, when they got there, it was burned and everything was gone. Everything was unalive, even the animals. Y'all remember? In Lord of the Rings too. Come on. Come on. Wait. Goes right along what we was talking about earlier. Nothing new under the sun. So this has happened before. But it's happening again. And people don't believe that we are going into, like, y'all, we looked it up before. We did some studies on it, and I seen something about it today, the universal income. The basic, the universal basic UBI. Y'all looked it up? Huh? If you don't know what the universal basic income is, go look at it real quick. Y'all see it? That's how you know God is about to even a playing field. Remember I told you wasn't nobody going to be working? They about to make that a fact. But in order to get that universal basic income, you're going to have to get that good old thing. You just go turn it to some random stuff. What you mean? It's going to end in sadness. The world is. Yes, it is, Sarah Bear. You see it, Rika? Y'all see it? You got kicked out of my channel. Interesting. They keep on doing that. Is that not what we've been talking about, Pumpkin? That's true. You see it? That's what old boy Mr. Musk is working on. So to those of you that have learned to stay in your house and mind your own business and not be out moving around and just doing everything, do you realize God was preparing you for universal basic income as well? Don't matter your experience or nothing, the same for everybody. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is that not even in the playing field, Punk Butt? Is that not even in the playing field? Very much so. Why do you think God told us to learn to live with less? He's been prepping us for every single thing that is coming. This is why we had to be all over the place. We could not have stayed focused on one thing and been ready for what is coming. If we only focused on our soul, and I'm not saying because we are only focused on our soul, but just hear me. If we only focus like just on salvation, we wouldn't have been ready for the food shortage. If we didn't study about the structure of the earth and the rocks and all of that, we really technically wouldn't understand what's going on with the weather, the air, and all of that. If we didn't go understand sowing and reaping and agriculture and how long it takes for onions to grow and all of that stuff, we wouldn't realize when they said ain't no vegetables growing, how long it was going to take for us to get some more. People thought that when I had y'all studying about candy, that I was trying to teach y'all witchcraft. They didn't realize that I had to teach y'all about candy so you could understand what was making you sick. So when they stopped the medicine, when they stopped selling the candy, you didn't go into shock or your body didn't go into shock. You hear me? That was even God's provision and his mercy. How we have never harped on medicine as much as we did, I'm sorry, candy as long as we did, and going and did, people would have still been taking 40 candies a day, 20 candies, 14 candies a day. But because you learned what it was, and then God even deepened our understanding of medicine today. Did he not? To find out that CINE and the definition of it in Latin, and our candy receipts is written in Latin. And when you look at what candy does to most people, it literally fits the definition of sinning. Does it not? This medicine can cause death, paranoia, blah, 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 blah. Ruin your life. God thought enough of us to cover all the bases. Right. And your body gets used to having that candy. And if it don't have it, then it don't function right. Basically. So even in that, he thought about you. Before, how is it that we knew 3 years prior to? And I know y'all tried to tell family members. I know y'all told family members. And I know y'all told family members that didn't want to hear it. And now they're wishing they would have listened to you once they get that news. Once that's on the news, they gonna be asking you how you know that. Exactly. Exactly. And now y'all see why I said I can't go back to living that other life where I don't know before. I don't want to live that life. Who wants to go back to knowing when the news tell you? Raise your hand if you want to go back to knowing when the news tell you and not before. You want to go back to only finding out when the news tell you, or you like it on this side over here? You said, not this old fella. Come on, Mr. Avery. I don't want to go back to finding out when the masses find out. I like getting the early drop. I like knowing before everybody else know. It makes me feel special. Over here, we get it before the news. Come on now. I like Dad's network better. His news network, me too. You sound like my baby songbird. All my kids say that very soon. My youngest just turned 21. She just turned 21, and she says all the same stuff. I want to know in real time, please and thank you. Thank you. Me too. Early birds get the worms. Don't we got them? We got a whole bag full, don't we? We got a whole bag full. When I went to the carnival a couple months ago, they fill you with candy nonstop. Yes, they do. The Heavenly Network News. Come on, Tamika. The Heavenly Network News, baby. And I watch it faithfully. You hear me be up and early trying to get the news. I don't want to miss it. Hey, Mr. Odell. You hear me? That's why people be like, oh my God, you're always so worried about the future and this and that. I'm not worried. I don't have to be worried. I'm just telling you what's coming. You don't know that for sure. You're right. Never mind. Moving around. Would you like to know what was on the news, the Heavenly Network News today? How about you? You want to know what's on the Heavenly Network News? Because it's going to affect you whether you saw the newscast or not. You know what's funny? Noah kept trying to tell people what was on the Heavenly Network News, and nobody wanted to hear it until after the news said it. But by then it was too late. It had already started. For 120 years. He was a reporter telling people, hey, they're saying this is gonna, it's like the weather. He was a weather person, and he was telling them about the floods and stuff was coming. They said, well, we ain't never seen nothing like that. We're not very worried about you. How about you quit drinking? Focus on that. You don't think somebody said that to Noah? Because he was a drunk. He was an alcoholic. So you don't think people told him, instead of focusing on what hasn't happened yet, how about you focus on your alcohol problem? How about you, God didn't talk to you about that? He told you that he's going to destroy the world, but he didn't tell you how to quit drinking. You don't think people said stuff like that to him? Did Noah's drinking problem make what God said untrue? And Jeremy had multiple questions. Come on, nephew, and do. Noah's addiction didn't have nothing to do with God's word, did it? Did God's word still come true even though Noah still had his addiction? People probably thought he was just drunk and talking crazy. Oh, he's been saying every time he drinks, he talks about the end of the world. Some of my cousins didn't used to want to go in the hot box with me because they said every time that we went in the hot box, once the stuff kick in, I get to talking about the end of the world too. Oh, don't listen to him. He's a drunk. Oh, don't listen to him. He's probably drunk. That don't mean that what Noah said wasn't going to happen because God told him. They was too busy looking at his drinking, and I hate to say it, to even understand why he was drinking. He might have been a drunk, but he was obedient. She might be a hoe, but she take care of the people that have less than her. He might be a dealer, but he makes sure none of the little kids in his neighborhood go without no shoes now. God allowed him to drink because who could handle the burden of that gift? Oh, so you just going to take the words out of my mouth? That's what you're going to do? Well, here, take them then. I was just about to say that. I said you wouldn't have an issue knowing that everybody around you is about to be unalived. Everything, not just the people, the birds, the dogs, the cats, the lizards, the camels, the dinosaurs, the whales, everything about to be gone. Everything that you see is going to be devastated. You wouldn't want to have you a little Jesus juice. And it ain't like you found out the day before it happened. You have to walk around with this in your chest for 120 years. Not knowing exactly what day that it's going to happen. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it coming maybe next week? You hear me? Because God didn't tell him what day. He just told him it was going to happen. So every day when he got up, you said I'd be the oldest of the neighborhood, Auntie. Listen, me and you. Why you think Auntie be having to, go get her meds? Matter of fact, give me a second, because when I listen and think about it, I be like, Okay, now I can talk about it. Just give me a second. Let me go get my mind right. I'll be right back. You hear me? Because when I think about how many people are not heeding, no matter how many times I scream it, no matter how many links I send, no matter how many news articles I send, no matter how many news, it doesn't matter. Every day that I wake up, I know we are closer to that day. And people still think they have time with every single thing that's going on. People are more worried about, oh, I'll get it later, or yeah, I got time, but you don't. But you don't. You don't. People act like they know what's going to be happening in a month or two, or how our society or how our economy is going to look in 2 months. They don't know. But we have an idea because God already told us what to expect. Lack, shortages, darkness, sickness. Now, who watched War of the Worlds a couple months ago? makes me put more oil in my vessel daily. Don't come knocking at my door. I ain't opening. Come on, auntie. Who watched War of the Worlds a couple months ago when we went and watched that? Y'all remember what happened when the aliens showed up? Remember they was just in the sky at first, and everybody was just so, for days they were just in the sky. Remember the UFOs? Y'all remember? And the army was scrambling and going and flying by them and all of that. And then y'all remember after a while they started to spray something, didn't they? And whatever they was spraying was taking over, was it not? They were in the ground for years. Like how they've been telling us they've been in the ocean for years. Outside. I got a tent. Outside somewhere. That's why I bought all my outside stuff. Mm-hmm. Like this. This is my hammock. Just in case I have to sleep in a tree. This is my Sub-Zero sleeping bag. And I got a tent and a portable wood stove outside. They are book pants. Kayla got them for me. I got 2 pairs. Outside. On the road again. Thank you. Yes, they match our library. And I have a cup to match too. We going outside. Ain't we, y'all? It said some of God's people was gonna have to run to the hills. Some of them was gonna be unalived. And some of them was gonna be taken prisoner. I'm hoping that I'm a part of the ones that get to run to the hills. That's why we prepping for the hills. Yeah. That's why we prepping for the hills. We prepped for house and we prepped for hills. Mm-hmm. We prepped for house and we prepped for the hills. The hill movement, I'm trying to tell you, is ooh, it's all kinds of stuff in here. What's in this part? What you put in there, girl? Oh, it's all my stuff is in there. Got some playing cards and stuff. My headlamp if it's dark, and a few other things in here. I got a compass and a fire starter and a water filter, an emergency blanket, some potassium iodide, and a lighter. Put your lighters up. See what's in here. This has a fire starter on it. I think one of y'all sent me this. It has a compass, a fire starter, and this part can be used as a tourniquet or to tie your stuff up, you know. But there's a fire starter on here, and you just, of course, Well, however you have to do that. But you know, when I got my stuff, I'll be striking it and trying to set my stuff. I know where I'm going. And it got a whistle. One of y'all sent me this. I don't know who. But it's got a whistle, a fire starter, a compass, and then, of course, this little string is in there. So it's come in handy. Got my potassium iodide, my rechargeable lighter. I gotta find the other one because this one takes butane. Actually, the other one don't take butane. This one takes butane. But they're waterproof lighters. There's a green one too. So like if it falls in the water, you don't gotta worry about it. It's sealed up. Long as it's closed, it's waterproof. There's another one somewhere in here. Somewhere. But you can plug that one up and it's a plasma lighter. You got both of those too? Yep. It came with two in a pack. It's a plasma lighter and then a butane lighter. So, you know. It's on this side. Oh, my camping. So on this other side, I got my straw, my water straw on this side. I got my camping knife and my small axe in this little pocket. Trying to be careful. I wish they would have put a little bit better zippers on these. And there's some stuff in here in this front that I'm not about to take out right now. Because I had got all my sleeping stuff in that bag and I'm going to put it all back in there. It is what it is. My house is bought and paid for. I'm about to sell it. It will be pointless to keep. We got some other people that did the same things. Hello. We got some other people that did the same things. I was telling people 2.5 years ago to downsize, was I not? People was asking me, should they buy a house? I said, if you do it, just buy small. Don't go getting nothing big, super expensive. Do y'all remember? Hey, we been here, Pumpkin. We about to go. We've been on here almost 3 hours. Didn't I? Y'all remember when we first started this? And people was asking me what to do. I said, I can't tell you what to do, but I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't be jumping out making no big purchases that ain't valuable as far as like whatever. I said, car, if you can reduce your car payment, I said, because you're gonna be sad that you let that $700-800 a month go and you didn't get nothing. And look at y'all, we are 35 months in, and is it not a reality? They said the housing market about to crash because all the stuff for the roofs and stuff come from everywhere else. Didn't they? Ain't that what they said? Who gonna be buying cars? I bet you the people that spent that $100,000 or whatever it is on them cyber trucks, you know how much survival stuff you could have bought? Hell, you could have bought a 3-acre plot of land for about 20-30,000 or whatever it was, and built you a nice little something for the same what you pay for that cyber truck that can't even get wet. You said in reality we need to stop building and build houses that are open. Yeah. Well, right. You could have went way off very right. 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 But like I said, I couldn't tell nobody what to buy. But if I could use my influence for anything, I told you, I told God, I want to help people not have to take the mark. That was my goal. Yes, to get y'all in the scripture, but also so that y'all didn't have to take the mark. That was big for me. Making sure that you don't have to do anything because you're destitute or just distraught. So that's why when I knew people was still, they got tired of hearing me say it every day, I didn't care. I was going to repeat it again because you gotta, I mean, people are coming out the woodwork because all the stuff that I told them is happening. People that have known me for decades, literally, they popping up randomly, one by one. Hey, how you doing? I told y'all I was going to come, and it's starting. It's been going, but it's more frequent now that people that I haven't talked to, they're thinking about all the conversations that we had years ago, and everything that we talked about in the privacy of my home or at they home or on the phone is all happening right now. And it's not one thing, it's all of the things as a collective. They all happen right now. Which is crazy. Down the wire, I'm trying to. Yeah. So I'm about to go shred my stuff. I might come back here in a minute. I need to go get that because I gotta put my broccoli and stuff on, and it's been 3 hours. They could have been drying already. I knew it. I said an hour and a half. I know. I saw that. So give me about 30 minutes. Let me process this stuff because I gotta put it in a blender and blend it up, I think, and then pour it in there and start my broccoli because it could have been almost dry by now, which means I'm gonna be running a few hours behind in the morning. But give me a minute and I'll be back, y'all. Give me about 30 minutes and I'll come back. Once I get my stuff in there, I might have me a little something in my cup because this is crazy.